guys are fucking dangerous. Look at this guy. He's got respect for doing.
There's 4 million people coming in.
It's only a matter of time. Justice is coming.
What is the cost of lies? It's not that we'll mistake them for the truth. The real danger is that if we hear enough lies, then we no longer recognize the truth at all.
Why would I have anything to say to you? All you do is lie.
What else is left but to abandon even the hope of truth and content ourselves instead with stories?
It's the role of good journalism to take on powerful abuses. And when powerful abuses are taken on, there is always a back reaction.
You take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans, right. You're saying that's not gain of function?
That is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially.
When you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
About is the reality of goodness, not the perception of it. And what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Fuck them. Okay?
Welcome back, everybody, to another Habbening TV. It's me, your favorite president, Donald Trump. I just thought I'd come in and give you a little update on everything that's been happening. We've been winning so bigly. The radical far-left Democrats are crazy, are running for cover. We have smashed them. We have shut down USAID. My best friend and cybernetic butt buddy, Elon Musk, is doing an incredible job shutting down all of the waste, fraud, and abuse. I've signed many executive orders. Things are going great. I'm about to impose tariffs on the rest of the world. It's going to bring us lots and lots of money. It may crash some economies around the world, but it's not really our problem. They can go fuck themselves. However, I do have one small niggle that is really eating at me, and that is Ukraine. I thought, I promised, I said that once I get into power, once I was elected as your 47th president, the best president that's ever been part of this country, I would have this war solved within a day. It turns out that this is proving to be a bit harder than I imagined. I thought that I would walk on stage with my incredible hair, straight out of an assassination attempt, and basically cow both Putin and Zelensky into accepting terms. I'd make them play nice. Remember, if I'd been in office, the Ukraine war would have never happened, Putin would have never done it. Turns out it's being a bit harder than I thought. That rat Zelensky, he's a slimy bastard, that rat Zelensky. Every single time he agrees to something, he goes back, and then he comes back, and he says, Mr. Trump, I want to renegotiate. And I say, Vladimir, what are you doing? You're killing me here. You're killing me. You're making me look like an idiot. We negotiated the minerals deal. Very, very good deal. We would basically gotten everything in Ukraine, but it turns out that they'd already sold it to the British. And I said, fuck the British. The British aren't going to defend you from shit. What do you think, that pussy boy Starmer is going to wade in there and protect you all? No, you need the United States. Give us all your oil and all of your minerals. But it turns out he's a snake. He's a snake. And Putin, he's a slippery guy as well. I mean, I got a lot of respect for Putin, but it turns out he's a bit harder to negotiate with than I thought. It looks like, not obviously Trump would never admit to a failure, never failed at anything in my life. I'm a winner. That's what real Americans are. We're winners. But it looks like it's been a bit harder to negotiate than I had initially anticipated. I will, of course, blame it on everyone but myself, and for underestimating the incredible problems that we have in that part of the world. But don't worry. Soon everything will be awesome. We're gearing up for war with Iran. Our Israeli friends are very, very happy about that. Excellent people, the Israelis. And they really, really want a war with Iran. And I promised them that in order to get into power, quite frankly. It was the best deal. It was a great deal. They said to me, Donald, we can only back you to become president if you sign up for a war with Iran and to, get rid of all of the Gazans. But nobody cares about them. That's fine. We're going to turn Gaza into a casino. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be the best casino. But now it looks like we've got a nice war with Iran, cooking up. I did say we'd never go to war, but what can I say? If you trust politicians, you deserve everything that you get. Anyway, of course, I'll be on TV. You'll see me, the best president on the best TV. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Good night. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much to President Donald Trump there, appearing via BrainLink. Yes, it turns out that things have been a little bit more complicated for the Trumpster than he had assumed. Walking on stage with his 50-foot metal boots, waving his dick about, does not seem to be getting the results that he wanted. I don't know how this is going to work out, but we do have some stories tonight. First one, Myanmar, the country, that the West still insists on calling Burma for some weird reason. It hasn't been Burma since the 50s or something like that. Myanmar has been devastated by a huge earthquake that's just basically destroyed their capital city, Mandalay. They're in the middle of a civil war. It's bloody terrible. But we got some really cool footage. The earthquake was felt as far away as Bangkok. It was huge, 7.7, something like that. So we'll be playing some footage from that and discussing some of the wider implications. I guess the main player, of course, in Myanmar basically is China, because they're right on China's doorstep, and they're also a sort of route to which sea is it? There's the west of Myanmar. There's a sea involved in somewhere, right? Anyway, right? Our second story tonight is wait, what is I saying? Oh yes, Starmer's back. He's after basically spending sort of the last however many weeks fawning over Ukraine, giving Zelensky some good old sloppy toppy. He loves the taste of a Ukrainian sausage. What can I say? He's finally decided to pivot back towards stuff actually happening in England or the UK or whatever, right? He's doing an immigration conference, bros. An immigration conference. He's brought together apparently 40 leaders from all around the world. Most of which, of course, totally want to fuck over the UK. But let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that, right? Let's not talk about the large amount of legal migration that is completely destroying the country, or the fact that the economy is in a complete doom loop. No. Let's smash the gangs, because that way, right, we can talk about immigration whilst not talking about immigration, right? Somebody clearly has got the poll numbers and gone up to him and been like, Sir Starmer, we are getting absolutely destroyed in the polls. Reputable sources have, conveyed to me specifically that Starmer was heard to respond, are you saying that the people do not like me? I am a very likable guy. I am a lawyer, after all, and everybody likes lawyers. Don't you know my father was a toolmaker? I am a friend of the working class man and woman, particularly the non-white ones, whom I hold in esteem above all others. When apparently his advisors pointed out that his lack of movement on immigration and the incredible problems with the economy, especially now that they've raised taxes again, and basically apparently are going to raise taxes even further in a few months. He was basically said to say, "Oh, well, this is a bit bad. This is a bit bad. What can we do about this problem without actually doing anything about the problem? Get to it, my advisors." And his advisors came back and said that the thing to do was to talk about the boat people, the 3,000 or 5,000 people coming over a year, not talk about the, literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands coming over legally or semi-legally. And someone was reported to say, "Oh yes, I like that. I like that very, very much. It allows me to be strong and seem firm whilst continuing to diminish and replace the white population who I absolutely loathe. Because one time when I was at school, some working class lads called me a bit of a poofter and slapped me about." Terrible, terrible. No prime minister of a Western country should have to suffer such indignity. Am I right, bros? So yeah, we'll be going over that. And our final story, of course, is Trump and Ukraine. He is now apparently pissed off at both Zelensky and Putin. I don't know like why he thought this would be an easy one to unravel personally. But yeah, Zelensky's come back and said, "Oh yeah, I know we said we're going to sign that deal, but how about some like major revisions?" Zelensky, of course, doesn't want to stop the war. Because his win condition has not basically changed. Zelensky's win condition is still to get all the territory back from Russia and to get Ukraine to join NATO. And no matter how many times the US and everybody else says you're not going to be a part of NATO, he still comes back and he's like, "Yeah, but what about us being part of NATO?" So he's not, and Putin, of course, I mean, yeah, they're basically winning, so I don't know like why he'd want to stop. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, that's what's coming up, bros. Let's have a look in the chat and see who we've got on Rumble. Fox39 Forever, good to see you. Texas Man, Yiz the Unit, good to see you, Yiz. I will be on Discord and Dragons tonight at in about 3 hours. Something like that. I don't know. It's a bit weird, the time zones and everything. But check it out. J Chiva Loophole, Total Blackout Painting, Mikey Bikey, Sede Sapiente. Who else we got? Captain Crisps, good to see you, mate. Livia Drusilla, great to see you. Anybody else we've got here? Playhead, good to see you, mate. I know Wyatt's Torch is there. He said he's driving, so he can't chat. I hope you have a safe drive. Wyatt's Torch, Teabagging Therapist, Human Shit Show. Great to see you all, guys. The gang's all here. Lovely, lovely to see you all. I think that's everybody. On YouTube, we have Streaky Bacon. Good to see you, me old mucker. User has been banned for naughty words. No, wait. Hang on. That's YouTube. Yeah, right. Anya Cox. Oh, I think you're new. RIP Odyssey. Is Odyssey like not working? Oh, well, that sucks. Rumble is unstable. Yeah, it was being a bit unstable for me as well. The Tree Godfather, good to see you. I think you're new. Who else have we got? Cyber Chud Internal Affairs, good to see you, Sir Chud. Robert Verlinden, For White Wellbeing, good to see you, mate. Fat Zombie, I think you're new as well. Oh, we've got some new people. Dawn Browning, great to see you, Dawn. I think that's everybody. Apologies if I missed anyone. And apology if Rumble or Odyssey isn't working. I was noticing when I was watching the intro that Rumble was being a bit fucky. And on Odyssey, we have Forrest Magdump. Good to see you, Forrest. Enjoying your tweets, mate. Mikey Bikey, Deus Somnia. Good to see you, man. Who else have we got? I think that's it. And of course, hello to all the lurkers out there. I know you're out there. I see you. I watch the metrics. It's fine. It's fine. If you just want to watch without interacting, that's okay. We're not fancy here. Today's meme. Karl Marx money box. When you've reached peak irony. Saving for Das Kapital. But surely by saving money, you are just participating in an oppressive capitalist system and further, enabling its control over your life instead of being a proper revolutionary by, refusing to engage in the capitalist system and giving all of your money to, perhaps like a streamer like myself, right? So if you hate capitalism and you've got some money weighing on your conscience that you'd like to get rid of, please send it to me via Entropy. That would be great. I promise not to use it in the aid of capitalism in any way, shape, or form. I will take that money and encase it in a sort of like black hole, thus removing it from circulation. I definitely will not spend it on beer and pizza. Absolutely not. Anyone who says that is a reactionary conspiracy theorist full of lies. So, don't... Linkies are, pinned in the chat and all that kind of other stuff. Right. Actually, let me just get entropy up so I can see if any come in. Right. Okay. Let's get on with it, bros. So, scramble to free survivors as death toll passes 1,600 after Myanmar earthquake. This is one of these breaking stories that's certain to get a lot worse. They've basically got no idea how many people are dead. It is insane. Woman is pulled to safety after 30 hours trapped in building. Basically there was a 7.7 magnitude earthquake, basically centered on Mandalay, right on the capital city of Mandalay, which has basically, for all intents and purposes, been completely erased from the map. The other major city, of course, in Myanmar is Yangon, south on the Bay of Bengal. This earthquake was so huge, it was felt as far away as Bangkok. It affected basically the entire sort of like Asian area. Death toll tops 2,000, could exceed 10,000. Yeah, they just don't know, right? Basically, they've got no idea. Everybody's dead. This truly seems to be an absolutely catastrophic earthquake. And of course, it doesn't help the fact that Myanmar is in the middle of a civil war that has been going since 2021. A bit of sort of background on this. Originally, Myanmar was run by a woman called Aung San Suu Kyi, who was a darling of the West. They loved her. She was going to do my democracy, my freedom, my gay rights, all this kind of other stuff. And then it turns out that she basically turned on the West. I forget exactly what it was that precipitated this crisis, but at some point she basically turned around and was like, screw the West. And then for some reason, completely, mysteriously, she was suddenly demonized by the West. They turned around and wait, you're not a reformer and a Democrat. You're a tyrant and a dictator now. So basically, there's been a civil war going on ever since, with the Myanmar government fighting the rebels. I'm not sure who's funding which side. China, of course, has a big interest in Myanmar due to its position. Of course, you see China here. And so Myanmar has access to the Bay of Bengal, sort of bordering, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Thailand, and all this kind of other stuff. So the Chinese are quite interested in what goes on in Myanmar. The West is also quite interested, as are probably the Indians and a bunch of other people. It's a bit of a shit show. This is Amarapurna, Myanmar. I believe Myanmar is like half Chinese, half Indian. I'm not 100% sure on that. Various countries have been standing by to send assistance, but there's some sort of question as to whether the government will actually provide assistance to rebel areas, because they're currently in the middle of a civil war. So some of the aid is already being held up. Yes, so when the military seized power in a coup in 2021, the junta is facing an armed resistance to its rule, formed of civilians who took up arms to fight for the return of democracy. There you go. And armed ethnic organizations that have long fought for independence. It has lost swaths of territory and responded with relentless airstrikes, which continued after the devastating quake, even close to the epicenter. Now, we've got some crazy pictures and footage from this. This is basically sort of what's been going on. A bunch of stuff has collapsed, and just shit like this. I mean, this is insane. Look at this. It's like 9/11, but Asian. Oh, 9/11. I shouldn't make jokes, but I don't know, man. What do you do in the face of such tragedy? We have some entropies, however. From Texas Man for $5. Mr. Fist loves Bangkok. I do. I love to bang that cock. It's how I got all that bruising. Actually, Mikey Bikey, please no spend on beer, lol. Thank you, Mikey. I'll make sure to put that specific $5 aside and mark it as do not spend on beer. You can trust me, sir. And Texas Man again for $3. The Revels seem pretty DIY, in my retarded redneck opinion. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. This thing's been going on like for ages now. In 2021, I mean, God, man, it seems like a lifetime ago. That's like pre-COVID. Thank you very, very much for here's the 90 Revan. Yeah. Thank you very much for the super chats, guys. I very, very much appreciate it. Yeah, there's just some crazy footage. Like, look at this shit, right? This is still Myanmar, but I don't think it's actually Mandalay. Wait, where's the one from Mandalay? So this is apparently what Mandalay looks like now. It just completely wiped out. Look at that shit. My God, it looks like India. That's how you know it's really bad. Oh, that's terrible. My God. Total devastation. I mean, you know, if it gets much worse, it's going to look like London. You don't want that, bro. Fuck. Oh, my God. Yeah, we got some, like, more buildings collapsing. What else have we got? This Twitter thread. So this is from Bangkok. The odds of banging your cock have gone up considerably. Obviously, big cracks have opened up in Mandalay. Man, I haven't seen a crack that large since your mum's house. Man, almost reaching London levels of devastation. This is the airport. I've got this great piece of footage of like someone living on the top of that skyscraper in see like this infinity pool. It's like basically like splashing over the edge. Wait, where's the actual footage from the people that are in the pool? Yeah, so this is this is the infinity pool. A great infinity pool overlooking the skyline. Come on, where the fuck is it? I got it here somewhere. Hang on. Yeah, this is it. Just gonna have a nice day of relaxing, looking over a Bangkok skyline. What the? There's no sound. Here, just having a lovely day, relaxing. Oh, goodness me. What's happening? Oh, bro, that's not a good day. You probably got your apartment flooded as well. Fuck, mate. Fuck. Texas man, too fast. What do you mean too fast? Was I scrolling too fast or talking too fast? Texas man, you'll have to let me know, bro. So basically everything's just like completely messed up over there. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'll keep you appraised. There's also been a breaking story. Marine Le Pen has apparently been disqualified from the next French election because of embezzling money from the EU or some stuff. I'm not sure how that's going to shake out. At the moment, it's looking like she's disqualified, but I'm going to give it a couple of days for the story to develop. I'll probably cover it next show. Anyway, back to the UK, inshallah. Eid Mubarak to all of our English people. You know what I mean, right? Now, I think I covered this a couple of shows ago, right? So basically, the Sentencing Council, which is an independent body that develops sentencing guidelines for UK judges. So it's not independent, it's woke. And they're not guidelines because the government, the judges have to follow it. Basically had these guidelines coming out that would have given preferential treatment to minorities and faith minorities. I asked Grok what a faith minority was, and it basically came back and said basically anyone who isn't Christian. And I'm like, can you claim it if you're like a particular sort of like subgroup of Christians? And apparently not. So non-Christians, BAMEs, anyone basically who isn't white, you get preferential treatment. However, two-tier queer and the Labor government are apparently a bit sensitive to this. You got to remember, summer's coming up again, and there was all of that unpleasantness last summer after that knife just got up by itself and stabbed all of those kids. Amazing. They really shouldn't have put AI into knives. The AI go crazy, and before you know it, a knife just by itself starts stabbing people up, which of course is why they've had to ban all knives, which will, hopefully, solve the problem, right? Now, these rules were basically meant to go in tomorrow, and everyone was getting very, very pissed off at this. The Justice Secretary, Shamima Mahmood, for fuck's sake, said, look, I'm a Muslim woman and even I'm not like cool with this, right? The Labor government is clearly basically getting, a bit pissed off with everyone, doing the two-tier here kind of like thing, corroding confidence in our justice system. Fox 39 forever. How to cut my steak without a knife, pray tell. Well, Fox, you could become Hindu or a vegetarian, perhaps, perhaps a plastic spoon, all of these possibilities. Perhaps you could put your steak in a food processor. But my understanding is that food processors also have knives in them. So, I don't know, right? Like, you take the thing out of the food processor, you could like throw it at someone like some kind of like, retarded kitchen ninja star. So, anyway, apparently the Sentencing Council has basically backed down. The government was like, oh, there's nothing we can do about it. We'd love to do something about it, but there's nothing we can do about it. Then Robert Jenrick from the Conservatives basically said, oh yeah, I'm going to sue your ass. And it looks like we've got a really, really good chance of winning. And all of a sudden, they decided they're not going to do it. So yeah, I don't know. Texas man, maybe you could use a spoon that identifies as a knife. Yeah, well, see, there you go. Texas man now with the solutions, bros. Now, Keir Starmer is like, he actually wrote an article for the Daily Mail. Can you fucking believe it? In another sign that the Labor government is clearly starting to feel the sting of their political opponents. Obviously, they don't really care about what the plebs think. But reform is, getting up there in the polls, even though Reform has basically sort of said, we're not really going to deport anyone. So this is Starmer's article. Don't you want to hear it, bros? Because when a prime minister writes an article for the Daily Mail, you best listen. Believe me, I get it. You are right to be angry about illegal migration. What about legal migration? No, you are not. You do not have any right to be angry about that. Right, okay. I know many of you are angry about illegal migration. You are right to be. The British people are kind and compassionate and fair-minded, except, of course, for the racists who we will be locking away in prison. But we all pay a price for insecure borders. Well, not you, you motherfucker. From the cost of accommodating migrants to the strain on our public services. It's a basic question of fairness. Ooh! Oh, racist! Oh, Starmer, you flaming racist. I cannot believe I am hearing such things out of the mouth of a Labour politician. They're not going to fucking do anything, right? I mean, this is just, they're just saying shit. And I don't think for one moment that it's a good outcome for illegal migrants either. What about the legal migrants? Oh, they are fine. So many of these desperate people are the victims of appalling exploitation. So believe me, I get it, which is why at the heart of our promise of change is a promise to restore your security. Yeah, I really, really doubt this. I mean, I just, call me cynical, right? But I doubt this very, very, very much. Securing our borders and smashing the vile people smuggling gangs is one of the most important responsibilities I will ever have as your Prime Minister. What about deporting foreign criminals? No, we're not gonna touch that one. What about leaving the European Court on Human Rights? No, we're not gonna touch that one either. Those on the fringes of British politics thrive on this insecurity, but their offer is hollow. Yes, that's right. I oppose the Tories' Rwanda scheme, not just because it was a gimmick designed to sound tough and get headlines, but because it was a hollow pledge to working people that had no prospect of ever being fulfilled. A slogan isn't a solution. Instead, it undermines trust in mainstream politics as a force for good. Yeah, well, you've done a lot to do that yourself. Honestly, mate. Like really. I know some of you will read this with skepticism and assume that nothing can or will be done. I am determined to prove the opposite. Yeah, well, you got a fucking uphill struggle, mate. Oh, my God. So, I mean, basically, he's talking about how, the Rwanda scheme is going to be a thing. They've now got a Rwanda scheme basically going with, Albania, pretty much. It's so gay. I accept my approach is not glamorous, but it's how I do business. Sleeves rolled up, getting the details right, doing the hard graft with a mouthful of Ukrainian sausage. Love that Ukrainian sausage. The plan is drawn in what I know works from my years of experience as our country's chief prosecutor. Yeah, but before he was the country's chief prosecutor, he also did a bunch of shit like court cases, like allowing asylum seekers to get benefits and stuff like that. That international cooperation is the foundation of securing Britain's border. Most of these international countries hate your guts. You do realize this, right? Fuck. He probably thinks that everybody loves him, honestly. So basically, right, I'll spare you the rest of this. Basically, he's basically talking about smashing the smuggling gangs to stop, these sort of the channel crossings, and by redirecting staff and resources from the Rwanda scheme to enforcement, we're removing illegal migrants at the highest rate in 8 years. We've taken down 18,000 social media accounts. Yeah, most of these illegal migrants have decided to leave voluntarily, and many of them have been paid to leave. The ones that don't want to leave inevitably basically take it to court, and the government loses. They're imposing sanctions. Oh, fuck it, Jesus Christ. So he's coming out with a bit of a propaganda blitz, bros. Propaganda blitz. You want to see what his message is? This is his message, bros.
My message to people smugglers is this: we're breaking your business model and leaving you nowhere to hide. We're working with law enforcement partners across the world to freeze your assets, to ban your travel, and put you behind bars. When I was this country's chief prosecutor, I locked up terrorists who plotted to blow up planes across the Atlantic. Now I'm going after the criminals who put people on small boats across the Channel. We're boosting enforcement with a new Border Security Command. We're giving the police more power to stop smugglers in their tracks. and we're making sure no one can profit from this vile trade. Since the election, this government has returned over 20,000 people who have no right to be here, and we aren't going to stop. Returns will continue to increase. My plan for change will save lives, secure our borders, and smash the gangs for good.
Well, I certainly believe him. User's been banned for naughty words. He's going to cry piss at any second. Well, he would be pissing into an ocean of piss, mate. Like literally, ocean of piss, literally up to his eyeballs at this point, right? He's got an organized immigration crime summit. So again, as I was saying, he's just focusing on the people smuggling angle. He's not focusing on the NGOs that are like, you know, getting them over here. You know, the sort of the NGO taxi service or anything like that. Instead, it's just going to be more of this fucking bullshit.
Because, as I said at the start, this is about fairness. And there is little that strikes working people as more unfair than watching illegal migration drive down their wages, their terms and their conditions through illegal work in their community. I've got to be honest here. For too long, the UK has been a soft touch on this. Whilst the last government were busy with their Rwanda gimmick, they left the door wide open for illegal working, especially in short-term or zero-hours roles, like construction, beauty salons and courier services. And whilst, of course, most companies do the responsible thing and carry out right-to-work checks, too many dodgy firms have been exploiting a loophole to skip this process, hiring illegal workers, undercutting honest businesses, driving down the wages of ordinary working people, and all of...
I mean, yeah, okay, I'm for this, to be fair. It is obviously another step in the sort of digitization of society and a sort of digital ID. You know, when is a digital ID not a digital ID? Well, when the government basically has a digital database of you and it's just of your face, you know, and you don't even need an ID card because the government's got it all. He's not presumably going to address the vast amounts of legal migration that's been driving down wages or anything like that. That's a bit too tricky.
Of this, of course, fueling that poisonous narrative of the gangs, who promise the dream of a better life to vulnerable people, yet deliver a nightmare of squalid conditions and appalling exploitation.
Isn't that what, like, the Labour Party does? Promises like an awesome vision and just delivers a nightmare of squalor and exploitation? Yeah, no, let's not point that out.
Well, today we are changing that because this government is introducing a tough new law to force all companies to carry out these checks on right to work. They take just minutes to complete, so they're not burdensome for business. Free of charge, so there's no excuses and no ability to claim that they didn't know they had illegal workers.
So I presume this check that takes only minutes to complete will be a biometric face check of some kind, which is basically what you've got to go through now if you want to get a job in the UK, if you want to rent in the UK, all of this stuff. As I've been saying for a while, legal migration is the thing that they're going to use to get digital ID in, and we're having it, right? Like, you know, you won't even have probably an ID on your phone. The government will just have it all, and your face will be the card.
And failure to comply will result in fines of up to £60,000, prison terms of up to 5 years, and the potential closure of their businesses. Now, none of these strategies, as you know, are a silver bullet. I know that. But each of them is another tool, an arsenal that we're building up to smash the gangs once and for all. We must pull every lever available, and that is what this Labour government is doing. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, just the hard graft of sleeves rolled up practical government, securing our borders, getting a grip on illegal migration, and delivering our plan for change. We want to work with you and with everyone who is as determined as we are to end the misery and evil of people smuggling.
Yeah, so I presume he's talking about the misery and evil for the migrants, not the misery and evil for those forced to live around them. Living around them, probably be racist or something. So basically he's saying that what he's going to do is he's going to give money to all these countries to stop them from sending migrants to the UK. This has been tried and failed many, many times before. The amount of money they've given the French, for example, to stop the boat people coming. But the French don't give a fuck. They're just like, get on the boat. The English will have you. We don't give a fuck.
We're also working upstream to address factors that drive people towards small boats in the first place. Working with the authorities in Albania and Vietnam on campaigns to deter those who are thinking about making that perilous journey. Because there's also nothing progressive about allowing working-age people to come here illegally instead of supporting them to build their own economies, secure a better future for their own countries, and build a safer, more prosperous world.
I don't know, mate. Sounds a bit racist to me, bro. I thought that, all migrants were welcome in the UK, right? Like, as soon as they stepped off the boat, that magical English soil just revivified and transformed them into Englishmen. So here's Yvette Cooper basically saying that, we're not going to do the Rwanda thing. Instead, we're going to send them to Albania and process them there, which is, completely different to the Rwanda plan, obviously.
Several times when we've spoken have said your aim is to smash the gangs and so on the small boats crossings. We've hit the 5,000 crossings mark earlier than ever before. Shouldn't we get our own house in order before we try to be leader of the pack?
Well, the networks, the criminal gang networks that end up with people arriving in the UK stretch back through northern France, through Germany, across Europe, to places like the hills of Kurdistan or the money markets in Kabul. So you need to tackle this as a global problem. But in terms of the channel, we have now new agreements with France, that France have now changed their rules so that for the first time they're prepared to take action in French waters.
But
now, the previous government...
We spent 500 million on the French. Are we getting value for money?
Well, we've changed the agreements with France now in a couple of important ways. So for many years, the previous government has tried to persuade France to take action in French waters, and that hasn't happened. The French government has now changed the rules. Their cabinet has changed the rules so that they can now intervene in French waters to prevent these dangerous boat crossings. I think that's really important. That will be operationalised later this year. They're also going to bring in a new sort of elite...
Later this year. So you mean after the summer migrant season? I wouldn't trust the French. I think this is probably a preparatory to basically just getting back into the EU. There's a story going around that the UK has agreed to sign up to the EU's climate framework and be under the jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice when it comes to net zero and all of that kind of other stuff. So, yeah. We'll be basically back in the EU without any of the input. Awesome.
Police unit. It's similar to the one that operated during the Olympics and was successful in tackling boat crossings during the Olympics. That's going to be brought in May, and they're strengthening the resources along the French coast. That is part of the work that we've been doing with France, and it's alongside our work here in the UK to reduce illegal working and to reduce the way in which the gangs are making promises.
Oh, God. Fuck off. Oh, my God. I can't hack it. They also the Labour Party also reposted this. This is an old thing, by the way, right? Check out just how crap this is. Auslanderhaus, Auslanderhaus. Now, someone pointed this out, that the people that are basically being repatriated have agreed to go. Those who do not agree to go basically sort of like take it to court, and they are always pretty much allowed to stay. Eritrean national convicted of assault. In 2023, the EHCR ruled that deportation breached Article 3 because he was at risk of torture in Eritrea due to draft evasion, so he stayed in the UK. A Sudanese national convicted of theft and drug possession. ECHR found deportation to Sudan violated Article 3, unsafe due to civil war. Syria convicted of grievous bodily harm in 2021. EHCR ruled that deportation breached Article 8, family life, and Article 3 stayed with his family. It just goes on and on. It just goes on and on. This is why we've got to leave the ECHR, but that is never, ever going to happen. Look at all of these. Look at all of these. Fucking, they just can't deport anyone back to countries that we really don't want people from. So, fucking, yeah, fuck that. Right, our final story of the night. This is from Bob Moran. I love this. This country needs you. Enlist. Fight for tyrants against tyrants to stop tyranny. Bro, that sounds like a great deal. Where do I sign? So, in a shocking turn of events, yet again demonstrating that the difference between a conspiracy theory and a conspiracy fact is basically time, the New York Times has come out and basically admitted that the war in Ukraine was a proxy war between the US and Russia. I am shocked, bros. I am shocked. I mean, oh my God. Yet another thing, right, that I literally knew back in like 2020, for Christ's sake. Everyone was like, you're a retard. That's not true. Yep. It is years too late, and alternative and independent media had already done so much work on exposing the reality. But the New York Times on Sunday is out with a lengthy report on the partnership, the secret history of America's role in the Ukraine war. You don't say. You don't say. Up until very recently, mainstream media gatekeepers wouldn't so much as admit that a proxy war had been unfolding from the very start of the conflict in Ukraine. Even after the New York Times in February acknowledged that the CIA had built 12 secret spy bases in Ukraine to wage a shadow war against Russia going back to 2014. You don't say. You don't. Oh, wow, this is news to me. Fucking hell, man. So this is how you know the narrative is like pivoting when the New York Times comes out and basically admits things that like everyone paying attention had already known. Now with Ukrainian forces clearly losing the fight, the New York Times admits that the prior Biden administration was far more involved in being embedded on a military and intelligence level with Ukraine than was previously made public by official sources. Is this a surprise to anyone? Like, seriously? So basically, they flew like a whole bunch of generals in civilian clothes, to like US bases in Germany. The US was in this up to its eyeballs, right? I mean, for fuck's sake. They were running counter operations out of a base in Germany. Which one was it? Clay Kaserne. I don't know where the fuck that is. And Wiesbaden, obviously. The partnership was the backbone of Ukrainian military operations that, by US counts, has killed or wounded more than 700,000 Russian soldiers. I don't believe the casualty numbers on either side. To be perfectly honest, I would show you the New York Times report, but it's paywalled and I can't use like archive. Wait, entropy seems to be down? Oh, for fuck's sake, seriously? Oh, yeah, right, it's logged me out. No, wait, hang on. Yes, it's logged me out. Thanks very much, entropy. You bastard. It's fine. Oh, come on. Oh, for love of... Right, yes, entropy's down. Hang on a second. Let me just revivify it. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you very much, Sades. I don't know why it does that. It is most unreliable at times. Right, it should be back up. Please send money. Why is everything not working tonight? I don't know. Right. Okay. So yes, the Kremlin has been right all along. Imagine my shock. The Americans were overseeing the kill chain. All the biggest battlefield things were basically the CIA and the Pentagon. I mean, the failed counteroffensive was hatched by the Americans. Imagine my shock. Biden banned clandestine operations in public while crossing red lines in secret. They had a task force, to plausible deniability, all this kind of like stuff. They were assassinating top Russian officers. And the US Operation Room was directly overseeing the HIMARS strikes. HIMARS, of course, are like the missile strikes inside Russia. And now, of course, you know, they're trying to control the monster that they have created, and they're not having much luck. Biden apparently kept giving in to Zelensky, which makes sense. And allies clashed over the incursion into Kursk, which was almost certainly planned by the Americans. And the US was behind the attack on the Kerch Strait Bridge, which I basically said at the time. Lloyd Austin was the godfather of all these secret ops. So, Zelensky, of course, basically being to type, he's like, that money that you gave us, was it a loan? I had no idea it was a loan. Really? Nobody told me that it was a loan. Dude.
Якщо будуть якісь ті чи інші ризикові речі для нас, то, безумовно, я буду все це комунікувати без будь-яких секретів з нашим суспільством. В принципі, я вважаю, що головні базисні речі компромісні були окреслені в рамковій угоді, на що ми готові були йти. І тому базуватись будемо на зрозумілих речах, про що ми говорили, там, де ми бачимо можливість побудувати правильні партнерські відносини. Якщо питання боргів, тощо, я це говорив, я не знаю, як всі, я чесно не знаю, але якщо піднімається там це питання, так, ми не будемо сприймати борги, як я і казав, це для мене там зрозумілі абсолютно речі, я їх не бачу. Принаймні ми говоримо про минуле. Якщо, знов-таки я повторюсь, якщо буде матись на увазі якісь перспективи, нова підтримка, нові пакети підтримки, і тоді Сполучені Штати Америки, напевне, можуть ставити ті чи інші умови, розуміючи, що безкоштовно ця команда нам нічого робити не буде. Ну, це вони офіційно говорять.
I had no idea it was like a loan. It's fine. We will not acknowledge any of these debts. But don't worry, bros. Even though the US is pulling out, Europe is there to give more of your money to the Ukrainians and continue the war against Russia. Why? Don't ask. It's, you know, like your small brains couldn't understand it. We just have to go to war with Russia, right? We just have to.
Ми також домовилися з партнерами деяких країн, не буду уточнювати зараз, про розширення. Це ініціатива саме європейська, розширення доступу України до розвідданих, до доступу до відповідних технологій, супутників, які мають наші європейські колеги. Далі ми домовились з деякими лідерами щодо нашого українського доступу до їх складів з боєприпасами. Ми домовились про ліцензії на виробництво протиповітряної оборони, а також працювати будемо над ліцензіями для деяких видів артилерії. Ми домовились про інвестиції в виробництво українських дронів і ракет. Ми також домовились з партнерами деяких.
Right, so to translate for you, basically, the US may be out, but we're still going to get more weapons from the Europeans. I don't know how this is going to work. Europe has basically already depleted most of its stockpiles of weapons and ammunition, giving them to the Ukrainians. They could build more, but with all the net zero crap going on, I don't know how any of that is supposed to work. Is entropy working again? I think it's up, Mikey. I think it's working now, mate. So Trump looks like he's quite pissed off with Zelensky. apparently because they agreed to a deal, and then Zelensky came back and was like, oh yeah, about this, deal we agreed to, how about we renegotiate it? This is like a classic stalling tactic. This is the kind of thing they accuse the Russians of doing, and I have no doubt that the Russians do it, but the Ukrainians also do it as well. I mean, the Ukrainians are basically Russians, pretty much.
By the way, I see he's trying to back out of the rare earth deal, and if he does that, he's got some problems, big problems. We made a deal on rare earth, and now he's saying, well, I want to renegotiate the deal. He wants to be a member of NATO. Well, he was never going to be a member of NATO. He understands that. So if he's looking to renegotiate the deal, he's got big problems.
If he tries to renegotiate the deal, he's got big problems. Now, this is the thing, right? Zelensky doesn't really want to end the war. He wants a wider war. The only chance that Ukraine has to sort of win under their win condition is to basically start World War III and suck the Americans into a war with Russia. This has been the case for years, right? Like, nothing's really changed on this front, right? The Ukrainians have been trying to suck the Americans into this war, like, properly for ages. Now, when the Americans were supporting the Ukrainians, like, sort of covertly, this looked like a greater prospect. But now, I don't know, maybe they're just going to try and keep it going until Trump gets out of office. Ukraine is now saying that it will not agree to any deal over its minerals with the US if it endangers Kiev's aspirations to join the European Union. So this is a new one. So Zelensky would only agree to a minerals deal that could give his country security guarantees against Russian aggression. Now, what does that mean? It means joining NATO, is what that means. When he talks about security guarantees, he means joining NATO or American or European troops on the ground and planes in the air and all this kind of other stuff, right? But these have not been forthcoming, and in an agreement that could compromise EU membership adds a further snag. So allegedly, what he's basically saying is that countries can't join the EU unless they have full sovereignty, and by taking control of all these minerals, that Ukraine would not have full sovereignty. Honestly, this sounds like complete bullshit to me, basically, right? I mean, it's the EU, right? They'll make exceptions if they want to, right? Zelensky said on March 25th, this is a while ago, the US had proposed a mineral deal without giving a timeline, a day after Trump said the deal would be signed soon. So you can imagine being Trump dealing with this guy, right? Like, you get him behind closed doors, he agrees to all of this stuff, and then as soon as, like, you let him go, he goes out in public and he's basically like, nuh-uh, I didn't agree to that. Now, the mineral deal is pretty harsh. This is from the point of view of the Americans, right? The security guarantee is literally the mineral deal, right? So the Americans get the mineral deal. They start building infrastructure in Ukraine, mines, pipelines, all this kind of other stuff. Then if the Russians attack any of this stuff, they will come in and they'll protect the thing. But this might not lead to World War III, and it would not lead to Ukraine being in NATO, and so therefore Zelensky is against it. It is a pretty brutal deal, to be fair. Although it would allow Russian gas to go back into Europe through Ukraine, so Ukraine could collect the transit fees and start doing the kind of like jiggery-pokery that it was doing before the war broke out. They would also get, the US would get control over Ukraine's critical minerals, oil, natural gas, fuels, and other hydrocarbons. The US would get first right for any new discovered projects. They would have golden shares. America would receive all royalties from all of this like mineral extraction until Ukraine has paid off at least $100 billion of war debt to the US with 4% interest on top. And then, Ukraine would like get the rest, basically. The fund would be registered in Delaware, but under New York jurisdiction. It also has the authority to examine the books and accounts of any Ukrainian ministry or agency whenever it wants during working hours, right? So the US clearly does not trust that this will not be corrupt. Putin there, in the meantime, basically floated a plan for the United Nations to govern Ukraine until there were elections held. The Russian position basically is that they can't negotiate with Zelensky because he has overstayed his welcome and he is not technically the president of Ukraine anymore, meaning that any treaty that they sign with him would be basically null and void. Trump was not happy with this and threatened new tariffs. He was like, I'm very pissed off at Putin. And Trump basically threatened to put secondary tariffs on all oil coming out of Russia. I'm not exactly sure how this would work. But Trump basically sort of seems to think that tariffs are like the sort of magic tool that will solve all of his problems. At the same time, they're still going to have like phone calls and stuff like that. And Trump was like basically accusing Zelensky of trying to back out of the mineral deal. We already played that. Right. So there you go. You're all caught up with all the horrible shit that's going on. Enough of that bullshit. Can someone send a super chat and make sure that Entropy is working? I can't. I'm not sure whether it's actually working. We're getting a few messages, but nothing coming through. Anyway, it's time now for some cringe, bros. You know what time it is. Wait, let me try and get the fucking right. Where is it? Mikey Bikey for $3 for some beer. Thank you very, very much, Mikey Bikey. I promise to spend that in exactly 2 more weeks. Thanks, mate. Right. So Entropy is working. Thank you very much. Right. Let me get the cringe up. Okay. What do we got here? Yeah. So you may be aware there's an election coming up in Australia soon. This is the current Prime Minister, I think, Anthony Albanese, who was rudely interrupted by one of the people whom he is trying to replace. Everyone knows that politicians hate it when their food talks back to them. Obviously, this questioner was summarily removed. But look at this cunt's body language, right? Like, this guy has the temerity to ask him about the problems with mass migration. And Albanese is like, I don't give a fuck.
Any further addition to the urgent care space?
Mr. Albanese, don't you think 1.8 million immigrants in 5 years is going to increase demand on the medical system? What about the fact that people my age can't get any housing, we can't get rentals anymore, we have no future in this country anymore? Do you think that's kind of ridiculous? No? You can't touch me, mate. You know.
Alex, watch the cable.
Okay. Look at this evil bastard. Look at that smile. He's like, you're going to all be dead soon. Fucking once you're all dead and replaced with like Indians, no one's ever going to talk smack to me again. Sorry, I know the volume on that is a bit low. I turned it up as much as I could. Texas man, for $3. Bitch N-word. Thank you very much, Texas man. I very, very much appreciate that, and I agree with that sentiment. He is indeed a bitch ninja. Absolutely. Oh my God. This is the head of the Liberal Democrats, which is the UK's third largest political party, on a hobby horse, basically demonstrating the sort of weak and pathetic white male dad trope literally as hard as he possibly can.
It's killing me. Woo! Woo! Oh. It's a refusal. No? Should I do it? Yes? Yeah! It's blue. We're going to go straight through. Boom!
Oh my God. I swear, right, he must have like consumed half of China's soybean output in order to get it. Like, what a massive fucking... Oh my God. Oh, mate, he's the strong leader that the UK needs. Like, oh, fuck me, dude. Londonistan. There's a bunch of like, USAID adjacent NGOs, of course, operating in London. And even though USAID has been shut down, it looks like they've secured funding from elsewhere. They're really, really anti-Musk at the moment. This is the kind of stuff going on the London Tube. Ugh. think someone should go up, you know, in response to the banning of ninja swords with posters that say too many ninjas, you know, and see how that goes. This is a real thing that I came across on the internet. Sometimes I come across stuff on Telegram and I'm just like, what the actual fuck?
We're Jewish women with big racks. We use our assets to combat anti-Semitism.
We're Jewish women with big racks. Of course we're at an anti-Semitism conference.
We're Jewish women with big racks. We use our assets to combat anti-Semitism.
We're Jewish women with big racks. Of course we're the real freedom fighters.
We're Jewish women with big racks. Of course people keep coming up to us to ask us for pictures to thank us for our advocacy.
We're Jewish women with big racks. Of course I'm wearing my Star of David and hostage ribbon.
Jewish women with big racks. The restroom's this way.
We're Jewish women with big racks, and I'm at this conference in hopes of finding my husband.
Yeah, in hopes of finding your husband. Okay, yeah. Calvis98, yeah, I don't know what the fuck's up with Rumble. It's like totally dead tonight. Now, Amera Bros, it turns out you can just do things, and one of those things that you can do is fuck up Satanists. So this is a bunch of like Satanists trying to do a black mass in the Kansas Capitol building, who was accosted by a brave Christian soldier. Took a couple for the team. Love to fucking see it.
He doesn't have permission. He's supposed to be outside.
Before the mighty and ineffable Prince of Darkness, Jesus Christ came, and the presence, and the presence of all the dread demons of the pit, and in this assembled company, I acknowledge and confess my past. I acknowledge and confess my past. Santa Maria Madre Dei.
Suck it. Suck it. God bless that brave Christian dude. Grabbing all of that shit. Well done. Right, enough of that. We got some like funny stuff for you now to cleanse your brain from all that awfulness. This is when British comedy used to be good. Yes, I know it's hard to believe, but it did actually used to be really good.
England.
Waiter, there's a fly in my soup.
Oh, yeah. France.
Waiter, there is a fly in my soup.
Do not worry, sir. The spider on the bread roll will get in. Deutschland.
Waiter, there is a fly in my soup.
Jewish swine. Deutschland. Israel.
Waiter, there's a fly in my soup.
That'll be £1 extra, sir.
Oh, dude. Awesome. What's this? I don't know.
So there's a galaxy parked on the side of the... No.
He died. Do an impression of Joe Biden explaining the plot to Star Wars.
So there's a galaxy parked on the side of the... No. A long time ago, back when I was working full time anyway, I was the head of the embassy. It doesn't matter. Far, far away, there was galaxy and there were robots. And robots, they were not the droids you were looking for.
Awesome. Oh, right. Yeah, I had to. This is really good. This is from Bone GPT. This got banned in the EU on Twitter. Fortunately, I managed to find a version of it. Spirited Oy vey.
In a world where secrets lie buried beneath the streets, one neighborhood holds a mystery that defies perceive. For years, they walked above, unaware of the shadows below. In the heart of Brooklyn, beneath an ancient synagogue, a hidden passage was forged. By hands unknown, for reasons untold. They said it was faith. They said it was destiny. But what they uncovered was a labyrinth of danger and defiance. Now the truth breaks free, and the world above collides with the world below. From the ashes of history comes a story of courage, of chaos, and of secrets that refuse to stay buried. This summer, the chase begins, where the law hunts the lawless. From the masters of Studio Ghibli, a descent into the underworld where loyalty is a lie and trust is a weapon. The tunnels hide more than faith. They guard an empire. And the deeper you go, the darker it gets. One crew, one secret, one way out. Spirited Oy vey. From Studio Ghibli, coming soon to a theater near you.
Oh, man, that's amazing. Right, got some Ryan Long here for you.
So I call it the robot assistant. And how anatomically correct are the body parts? Specifically the lower half. I call them VR goggles, and you'll be completely immersed in whatever. Can we get some tits on there? What do you think he's doing? I call it the iPhone. Could women use this to possibly send naked photos? We'll call those nudes. Can we get a 5x zoom on this? I call it the internet. Can we get tits on this thing? I'm working on it. He says he's working on the tits thing. Come on! I call this the acoustic guitar. Now, if we played this around the campfire, the ladies would remove their petticoats. Then we could stop having sex with our horses. You guys are doing that too, right? And I shall call it the telescope. And I can use this to put my eyes on thy neighbor's bathing quarters? Ooh. Nay, Mercutio, I'm your neighbor. And I call it the printing press. No longer must we press an image of Jacob's wife bereft of garments? What a splendid idea. Honey, your presence has been requested. I call this hieroglyphics. Maybe we can make some of the characters naked women to help honor the gods. Yes, the gods, of course, a couple naked women. I call it life. What about a companion? Sure thing, Steve, get in here. Hello. I was thinking something more in the Eve department. You struck me more as a Steve guy. F you, Adam. I can give you a rib. And I call this pill the sex drive eliminator. Xylon. Now we can bring forth the utopia. No, honey, I will not be coming to the pumpkin patch tonight. And we can focus all our time on inventions. That's just chill. That's just chill. Not totally in the mood for that.
Right. Ever wondered what Hunter S. Thompson's morning routine was?
3 p.m. Rise. 3:05. Chivas. 3:45.
There you go, scallywag.
Cocaine. 3:50. Another glass of Chivas. Downhill. 4:05. First cup of coffee. Downhill. 4:15. Cocaine. 4:16. Orange juice. Downhill. 4:30. Cocaine. 4:54. Cocaine. 5:05, cocaine. 5:11, coffee, Don Hills. 5:30, cocaine. 6 p.m., grass, to take off the edge of the day. 6:15, ready to write. 6:30, use this rifle and blow my brains out.
Right. Cute animals. Again, apologies for Rumble not working. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with it.
Between whether it's a turtle or a tortoise, then I would recommend a manual. All right. Hi, everyone. Today I'm Princess. Princess. Stop it. Ow. Hi, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about Emmanuel. Don't do it. Emmanuel. Emmanuel Todd Lopez. Emmanuel. Sir. 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 Thank you. I personally don't think that tortoises get enough credit. Emmanuel. Ow! Ow! Hold my hands up in the air like Emmanuel. Thank you. I'm having to hold my hand. Emmanuel. Literal toddlers. Please. I think that they're magic. Emmanuel, I'm literally trying to talk about something I'm passionate about. Please. The word turtle and Emmanuel. 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 Why animal? I love towards Emmanuel. You are being so rude. And I don't need you to growl at me. If you want to stand right there, that's fine. But you can't, Emmanuel, do not do it. It's like you can't help yourself. Because I'd really like to finish sharing my facts about tortoises, but I feel like you just really keep interrupting and it's hurting my feelings a little bit, okay? So do you think that you could let me finish that? Huh? You think? You think you could? It would mean a lot to me. What is the reason for this?
I mean, this is really funny, but is she under the impression that animals can speak English? You know they don't understand you, right? Okay, we got a couple of dog breed videos. A couple of people sent me these on Twitter. Thank you very much, guys.
The Newfoundland is the largest of the working breeds, and they were originally bred and used in Newfoundland for pulling nets for fishermen and hauling wood from the forest. They can measure up to 71 centimeters at the shoulder and weigh up to 80 kilograms, making them one of the biggest dog breeds in the world. They are known for being excellent swimmers and have a water-resistant double coat that helps them keep warm in cold water. While Newfoundlands generally do well in cold weather, their thick coat can cause them to overheat in hot weather. So keep outdoor activities short in the heat and make sure your dog always has a place to go to cool down. Newfies generally have a very sweet personality and they love people. They're even typically great around kids thanks to their calm and gentle temperament. And due to their moderate energy level, they don't need an excessive amount of exercise. But they do enjoy a good walk or play session. Apart from that, they do shed a lot, so be prepared for some extra vacuuming and some extra hair on your clothes.
Aw. What else do we got? Yeah, Belgian Malinois.
The shittest dog breed, the Belgian Malinois. This dog wakes up every morning like it's got a fucking 12-hour shift at MI5. If it's not doing advanced parkour off your furniture, it's digging a tunnel to shitting Narnia in your garden. The Belgian Malinois is like if someone crossed a crackhead with a Navy SEAL and then injected it with a litre of pure caffeine. If you own one of these, you either need to be a police officer, a military operative, or just completely off your fucking rocker. Because this isn't a dog, it's a furry missile that will destroy your house, your sanity, and any sense of peace you once had. They don't walk, they fucking launch. You clip a lead on a Malinois and suddenly you're You're paragliding through the high street at 30 miles an hour. Yeah, they're smart, but not in a cute, fun way. They're smart in a figure out how to open doors, steal your wallet, and commit tax fraud kind of way. You leave the house for 5 minutes, and they've already learned how to drive your car. You think you own a Malinois? Nah, your Malinois owns you. Training? Don't even bother unless you've got the patience of a monk and the fitness of an Olympic athlete. These dogs will make you feel like you've enlisted in the fucking military just by trying to teach them sit. Miss one training session and suddenly your dog is swinging from the ceiling fan plotting world domination. The Belgian Malinois doesn't want to be your pet. It wants to be your commanding officer. Now go away.
What else we got? Woman scared by Vol.
Oh, don't come to me. Oh my God, it's under my ski. Avery, it's under my ski. What is it? It's not a mouse. What are you? Ah! It wants to. Oh my God, it's on my ski again. Ah! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Get out of the way, little man. Go away. Is it moving? It's right here. I didn't kill it. Ah! God, don't.
It's just a Vol. Oh my God. Golden Retrievers. Aw, I wish I could be that happy with a stick. Or with grass-flavored water.
It's like a reward.
Cute owl. Aw. And that's like cute. Oh, this is so heckin' cute. Oh, the sound cut out. Oh man, that's so cute. Oh, he looks so happy next to that piano. And finally, cute cat on grass. That's the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. I'll be back in London for the next show. So I'll be back with like a decent camera and, a decent setup and stuff like that. So hopefully there won't be any fuck-ups. Let's say a quick goodbye to everybody in the chat, even though Rumble has been totally retarded. Sadie Sapiente, Years the Eunuch, Mikey Bikey, Total Blackout Painting, Fox39 Forever, Texas Man, thank you for the super chats, Texas Man, and Mikey Bikey. Carvos96, Years the Eunuch, I'll be on Discord and Dragons in about an hour and a half. Who else? J Cheever Loophole, Livia Drusilla. Oh, I think everyone left Rumble because it crapped out. Anyway, let's check YouTube. Robert Verlinden, Linda Hunter, Streaky Bacon, Livia Drusilla again, Full Short, Fat Zombie, Victorian Time Traveler. Good to see you guys. Anybody else? I know there's some more. Glenn Llewellyn, excuse me. I think that's everybody. Oh, and Dawn Browning, of course. Good to see you, Dawn. Happy Cursed Plague Doctor. I don't know what's up with my mouth. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. And on Odyssey, we had Lalacan. Oh, I think you're new. Thanks for coming. Wibble, Highland Fool, Harder, N-Word, Forest Magdump, Kay. Who else we got? Ivan the Horrible, Smack Your Apocalypse. Oh, we've got quite a few people on Odyssey. I think that's everyone. Hope to see you on Discord and Dragons in about an hour and a half. Oh, and Smack Your Apocalypse as well. Thanks for coming, everybody. I will be back on Thursday. I hope you have an excellent week. Good night, bros.